Okay. So yeah, my name is Fedor Kurbatov. I'm from Fluence Labs, and today we are going to discuss the DApps and their dirty little secrets that, well, they actually use centralized infrastructure and are not fully decentralized. I'll talk a little bit about Fluence Network, what it is, what it is capable of, what possibilities does it enable developers to do, and I'll talk a little bit about FRPC, the decentralized RPC solution that you can use to try Fluence and to mitigate those centralization risks that are associated with centralized RPC providers. As Zoe correctly identified in the previous talk, the Web3 is not only about the blockchain, it's also about general compute. But first of all, let's talk about DApps. So basically, a DApp is an app which uses blockchain as a backend, and it needs blockchain nodes to query them with JSON RPCs. So, and here is the usual flow of data that is running from the front end to the JSON RPC provider to the blockchain. And hosting and basically the Web3 developers have two options. So they can either self-host the blockchain nodes, well, which is very difficult and very time-consuming, or they can use centralized RPC providers like Infura, Alchemy, QuickNode, and other ones. And from the starting point, that might be a very easy and intuitive way, but it has some caveats. So yes, it is convenient, it is cost-effective, but it has certain centralization problems. Well, it's a single point of failure for the application. There is also a deplatforming risk. And of course, it introduces a significant trust component, so you have to trust your SaaS RPC provider. More on the deplatforming risks. So those service providers who provide the nodes are actually just normal businesses, right? That they are essentially very similar to Web 2 platforms. So in case if the app has some limitations or there is some kind of legal caveats, those platforms can shut off any application for any reason in their multi-page terms of service contracts. And this leads us to a conclusion that, well, while our Web3 apps have those decentralization overhead and added complexity, they still pretty much carry the complexity and risks associated with the Web 2 platforms. So, what can we do with RPC centralization problem? And yeah, let's try to de-risk SaaS RPCs. But how can we do that? So, in a nutshell, there are two basic ways how to do that. So the first one is to just make your application aware of the fact that, well, there are multiple RPC endpoints and you can add that logic to your app. Well, or you can use some magic decentralized serverless and open permissionless platform to handle that for you. But more on that later. So let's explore the first option. The option to roll your own quorum or failover solution over multiple RPC endpoints. So what it gives you, yep, it gives you lots of control. You can write your DApp code to handle quorum, failover solutions. You can make it very complex. And in fact, it will solve the problem, but it will really cripple your app in the long run. So because it will be closely coupled to your DApp code, you will be tied to a specific Web3 SDK solution, and it adds a lot of complexity to manage. So basically, you will spend a lot of time managing this solution rather than developing your app. Or you can use a decentralized permissionless open platform well, it's also a good solution. It gives you lots of control. It is decoupled from your DApp, so basically you point your DApp to the simple RPC endpoint that you can run in a much more simple way than the blockchain node, and basically you're safe. So, what is Fluence and where it is in this schema? So, Fluence is a decentralized serverless compute platform. It is verifiable and trustless. It is unstoppable and censorship resistant, and it's fault tolerant. So basically, it's also a compute marketplace that replicates the cloud stack, and it allows you to build decentralized apps in an easy and convenient fashion. So you can think Fluence as the Filecoin in compute. And as it was correctly noted by previous presenters, the Web3 is not only about blockchain. Most of the compute is like general purpose compute. It's off-chain. It's non-deterministic, and it is the way the compute should be, like in most of the time. So why Fluence? We think of compute infrastructure as a public good, like internet or crypto, and we are trying to build lower cost, censorship resistant, and no vendor lock-in solution, basically where a marketplace where you can find different compute providers who have different offerings and have no cost of switching between them. We're also trying to build a solution that has zero trust security, that is open source, and that is permissionless. So no KYC and no identity is required to participate in it, both from the developer side and compute provider side. And we think that decentralized serverless compute is the next generation of internet computing. So originally, everyone is tied up to those big Web2 platforms, and we think that it is okay for some period of time, for some moment, but ultimately we think that businesses will tend to switch to decentralized serverless compute platforms because, well, they allow more flexibility. And creating a centralized compute platform is actually very hard. So we need to maintain the generalized compute compatibility. So it's not only like blockchain, not only deterministic compute, but general purpose compute. We need it to be verifiable, so that there is a way to verify that the actual computation has taken place. And we need it to be able to scale, so that your code that was deployed into the network can withstand a certain amount of load. And we actually had some really clever solutions on that, and we think that the competition for us is like something like AWS, but not blockchains and smart contracts. So we play on the general purpose compute field. So Fluence is a decentralized service compute platform. It's both a developer platform that allows you to deploy serverless functions and workflows on the network, and a compute marketplace where the compute providers can deploy their resources and make money with us, with Fluence. If we take a look at the traditional cloud stack, to the traditional solutions that are used by multiple projects, we can, for instance, take a look at AWS solutions like AWS Lambda. So in our world, AWS Lambda is Marine. It's our WASM runtime that allows to execute WebAssembly files on our network. We have Aqua language that is an analogy to AWS step functions or Google workflows. And we have our CLI and web tooling that is similar to serverless.com or Cloudflare Wrangler. So right now we have a live testnet. We have deployed our decentralized execution protocol, Aqua. And by Q4 this year, we are launching our mainnet, verifiable computation, and we are onboarding compute providers with us. We're also launching DAO, so this whole protocol thing is managed by the community. But what actually is about de-risking the RPCs. So since like Fluence is the platform, we created a solution to demonstrate the possibilities of the platform. It is called FRPC. So what is FRPC? FRPC is a super convenient showcase of what's possible in Fluence, and it will allow you to try the network, try the developer tooling, and actually solve this RPC centralization problem. So you simply deploy a self-hosted RPC resolver that connects to the network. Connect this to your DApp simply by pointing your DApp to this single RPC endpoint. Configure a set of RPC providers. For instance, you can put several Infura nodes, our endpoints, several quick node nodes, some of your own nodes, and run different quorum, load balancing, or any other, or random selection algorithms so that all the calls from your DApp are proxied into the Fluence network and then to those RPC providers. And all this with really good latency and good throughput. And all this is available right now on Fluence testnet. So you can scan these QR codes. It will lead you to GitHub. There is a repository called FRPC Substrate, and you can use this repository as a starting point just to try Fluence, to try this FRPC, and basically solve this RPC centralization problem for your DApp. Right now, you can do it completely free, so it's on testnet. In Q4 this year, we are launching mainnet, so you can put it into production too. Okay, so how does it actually work? So there is your DApp front end that you point to a very simple self-hosted gateway. It's a very simple tool. It does not require you to do any complex stuff like running the full blockchain node. It's a very simple tool that connects to the Fluence network and uses the peers in the Fluence network to run to run quorum or round-robin algorithms over several centralized RPC endpoints. And in a nutshell, it just solves this RPC centralization problem for any DApp developer. Yeah, there is also a QR code if you missed it on previous slide. So, a short recap. So, you can create and operate a centralized RPC solution as a decoupled middleware for your DApp. It's very simple, it's free for now, and you can try it. You can also utilize Fluence Decentralized Serverless Network and open source tooling to manage this single point of failure or these centralization risks. And you can actually use this example to see how Fluence Networks works. And you can also implement the backend for a DApp on Fluence. So if you have some existing code which is running on AWS or on some popular cloud solutions, you can try mitigating that centralization risks and also move some part of your backend code to our network. Yep, this is probably it. What else? So if you want to learn more about Fluence, you can go to fluence.dev. There are several manuals and books and intros that will get you up to speed with our platform. You can use Aqua language to audit, share, and reuse distributed algorithms. Think of it as Amazon step functions where you can call different services and orchestrate them so they work together. And yep, so this is basically it. This is the demo that you can try to run maybe later this day. It's very simple. So you can use this command to just install our latest tooling and use the FRPC substrate repository that I covered earlier to try it and hack along. So thank you. We have our website, Discord, Telegram, and the career website. So if you're interested in joining our team, please take a look. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fedor. Quality stuff.